Now, stark figures this week showed that people contacting the Suicide and Self-Harm Crisis Centre Pieta House have increased sharply. They came ahead of a big weekend for the organisation, which will see thousands of people take to the streets in the very early hours of tomorrow morning to help with a fundraising drive. Well, the founder of Pieta House, Joan Freeman, is with me now. Joan, maybe just before we get into the statistics, explain to us what Pieta House does.
Well, Pieta House offers a unique one-to-one, face-to-face therapeutic service for people who are in the suicidal crisis and for those who self-harm. It's free. Anybody can make the call and look for an appointment, whether it's for your son or for your husband or your wife. They don't need GP's letters or psychiatric reports. So we've tried to make it as easy to access as possible.
Well, you have a big fundraising drive happening this weekend. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But a couple of days ago, those figures that you released in terms of the numbers of people contacting you and that you're coming in touch with, they've increased dramatically in the last year.
They have. They've increased by 42%, but that's not unusual. We've seen a steady increase every single year anyway. And that's also not bad news. It means that people are willing to seek help. They're willing to pick up the phone and make that appointment. And one thing that we have noticed, for example, 47% of people coming to us last year were men, and we thought this was wonderful. But what we discovered was it was in fact women who made the appointment for the men. So we're seeing really incredible research data here as well, because we're the only organisation that has living data who can talk about why a person is suicidal and why they self-harm.
And do people that contact you get counselling and assistance? Is that what you provide, a friendly ear and help?
That's exactly it. I mean, heretofore, you know, if someone is in suicidal crisis, they go to their GP or to A&E. And then, you know, we started realising that for many people that they're reacting to a life event. For many, many people, there's no long-term psychiatric issues. And that will be reflected, for example, when the recession hit its highest in 2009, so did suicide increase. So really, again, reflects what we're saying, that most people are reacting to a life event.
And you've had figures for the 25 to 44 year age group, which showed, what, 951 people. That's very high for that area. And then if you go under the age of 18, is that 596 figures? Yeah, so it's the young spectrum up to the age of 44 seems to be. Well,
yes, but it has shifted. I mean, before it used to be up to 18 to 24 was the highest. But if you look at the figures now, 25 to 44 would be mortgage holders. So again, it's reflecting what's happening to our country at the moment.
And you can extrapolate that from it?
That's exactly what, because we're talking to people, because we're gathering that information, we are able to reflect back to this country what's happening to people who are in crisis.
Well, people are trying to help Pieta House at 4 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. If anybody happens to be wandering the streets, they might see an awful lot of people on the streets. What's happening?
It's just the most wonderful event. It's a very moving, emotional event. And each year I keep thinking, why do I find it so emotional? And it's because there's a collective sadness, but also there's a collective joy, because we now as a nation are trying to do something serious about suicide. So what happens is the walk starts at 4 o'clock in the morning, the pitch dark. But just as they're crossing over the finish line, the dawn is breaking. And that really symbolises what we do in Pieta House. We bring people from the dark into the light. And I suppose it symbolised what we as a country have gone through as well. There's been many times this country has gone from the dark into the light with different issues. So this year, thanks to Electric Ireland, we're actually in 19 counties and in 20 venues. So this is going to be happening right across the country. We're expecting about 35,000 people to be walking. So
that's going to be a sight to behold in the early hours of the morning, and as dawn breaks, as you say. Now, I know there's also music playing a part in this as well. Can you just tell me a little bit about that, and then we might have a listen to the song? Yeah,
again, this is most wonderful news. Aslam produced the song Catch My Fall. Don Mescal was the songwriter. And poor Christy Dignam, who hasn't been well at all, was so anxious to get this recorded. And all the proceeds, if you download it from iTunes, all the proceeds are coming to Pieta House. Even if it never was, it is a beautiful song, and there's a lovely video that's attached to it.
Well, so we have the performance of Don Mescal and Aslan. They were on the Saturday Night Show a few weeks ago.
That's right.
Joan, thanks for coming in, and we'll end by just having a listen to the song Catch Your Fall.
when the sky is ground and the ground is sea, and truth is the only thing you need. When everything you know you can't be sure you know it all, let go and I'll catch your fire. When every rail line won't cut the dark, when all the words they say won't heal the heart, and when the only hope you hang on runs into a wall, let go and I'll catch your fire. I'll catch your fire.
Now all funds from that going to Pieta House.